Hey retro tech friends, and welcome to another live edition of Dave's Retro Video Lab. We're calling this a flash mob. Is it a flash mob? No, it's not, because I'm not a mob. I'm just me. But we thought, hey, let's just do a live show without telling anybody. How really stupid is that? But that's Dave's Retro Video Lab for you anyway. I get a lot of viewer questions about asking me, how do I record the output of my old video cameras, and how do I get them to a monitor with like an HDMI input? So basically how that is done is there is a little gizmo from Amazon, from a nondescript company, and you've probably seen these before, but it's this little $10 gizmo that it has RCA inputs and HDMI output, and you can send that to a monitor with an HDMI input like the one that I'm showing you right here. So that's what we have here. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to open up the box. We're going to show you what's inside. This is very exciting. Once again, we are live because that little box up there, oh, it's right there. It says we're live. And some of you are going, what the heck is Dave doing live right now? Well, we just thought, hey, let's just go for it. So, what we have in this little gizmo, this nondescript company, it doesn't even, all I know is it's made in China, and it just says this, HD video converter. How about that? That's all I know about this. So, what we got here is we have our little HDMI video converter, and what you're going to see here is it has 3 RCA inputs. You got video and 2 audio inputs, and then on the other side, let's see if I can do it. There we go. You have a little HDMI output, and with this you get this little USB cable. What's really important about this USB cable is this is going to help you power this little mini RCA to HDMI adapter. It is not passive. It is, it needs a little bit of power. So what we have to provide power is this big ass, what do we got? There we go. It's okay, Amazon battery. This thing's got plenty of power. This thing does so many different things. It charges iPhones. It does all sorts of fun stuff. So, so if you guys are ready, we're going to go ahead and we're going to set this all up. The camera is already powered up. I wanted to save a little bit of time, and so the power supply for the camera is here. It's powered up. As you guys generally know, the power supplies have an RCA out, or they have audio and video outs. So that is how I'm going to get the video from this camera to this monitor here. All right, so let's go ahead and power this up and see if it works. Cam, how many viewers do we have?
0.
Great. You know what? I'm almost wondering if we want to power this down or stop and do it again. Anyway, I'll explain later. We are live, aren't we? So, where we are? Oh, we got to power this first, right? So we're going to go ahead and put that in there. Then, let's stop down. Turn off the live.
Oh, end the stream?
Yep.
Oh, wait. We have 2 viewers.
We do?
We have 2 viewers. Hello.
Are we still live?
Yes, we're still live.
Oh, well, hello, viewers. Cut to camera 1, please. Hey, viewers, how are you? We're doing this live presentation on how you get video from this camera to a monitor with an HDMI output. We have this little mini, what do you call it, RCA to HDMI adapter. It's $10 on Amazon. I can't even tell you the name of the company. I have no idea because it's not even on the box. So we're in the midst of right now is powering this adapter with this big ass Amazon Basics battery. So I'll plug that in there. So now this thing has power. That's good. So the camera here has a power supply with an RCA out. Oh, good. So how many viewers, Cam?
We have 4 viewers.
4 viewers? Oh my gosh. What were you guys doing today? Were you just like hanging out? Were you just like, oh, what is this? You're probably mowing your lawns. You came inside. You wanted to check things out, see what's going on. And then all of a sudden there's Dave talking about how to get the video from your old camera to a new monitor with an HDMI input. So as I mentioned before, the power supply for this camera here has an RCA out. And we're going to take this RCA out and we are going to plug it into our RCA to HDMI adapter.
Hey, we have a question.
Oh, what's the question?
What's the question? Our friend Oreo fan here said he has a question.
Oreo, so go. Is it Oreo fan?
Yes, Oreo fan.
Oreo fan. I love Oreos. Is it Mega Stuff Oreos? The Mega Stuff Oreos are the best. And you know what's really funny, Oreo fan? I was just saying to our director as we were in the break room upstairs in the lab, I was just saying to him, hey, I should bring some Oreos down. Didn't I say that?
Yes, we got the question.
What is the question? For me to be quiet? Uh-oh.
A Sears VHS camcorder from '87.
I've been asked this question before, and I don't know. It seems like it's no, I don't have a Sears. Why does it have to be a Sears? Was a VHS camcorder from 1987?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But at any rate, there we go. I'm just trying to get this so it props up. If you see an Ace Paul, we know Ace Paul if you see an Ace Paul. Okay, so I'm going to realign the camera. All right. So we have the RCA cable going into the video cable going into the little HDMI thing. Let's take a look at that. There we go. So we have the RCA cable going into the converter. So now the big moment of truth is we are going to now hook up an HDMI cable to this little guy down here, and we will then see hopefully something on the monitor up here. Let's go to that wider. There we go. Let's see the camera 3 cam.
Camera 3.
There we go. So so we're gonna have the monitor here and with the cable, and here, hold on.
We have another question.
What's the question?
Oreo fan. What's the camera you have called?
Oh, that's a great question, Oreo fan. You know what? I have this grocery list with notes that I'm not following. That's a great question. So what we have here is a Sony, I think it's called an HVC, let's see, there we go, HVC 2800 camera. This is just a video camera. It's not a camcorder. From 1982. It was built in December of 1982. I love these old cameras. These are really fun. I think it's got a really unique shape to them, and I really am always fascinated by the old Sony. And it's a Trinicon camera, an old Sony Trinicon camera from 1982. That is really a great question. And I have the power supply right here for it to power it. So we have the moment of truth. We have the output of the old camera. It's going into the HDMI, the RCA to HDMI adapter. And all we need to do now is plug in our HDMI cable into the adapter, and hopefully we will see a picture on this monitor. So if you are ready, everybody in internet land, we got a big countdown. Ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Did it work? Oh no, why do we not have, hold on, wait a minute, wait, why? Oh, hey, we got power. Let's go to camera 3. Hey, look at that. Holy macaroni. We actually have a picture. It really worked. This little $10, camera 2 please. This little $10 gizmo here actually was able to work and provide a picture, which is great. Now, that is how you can watch the output of this camera on a present-day monitor with an HDMI input. That is really great. But interestingly enough, I have to go to my phone because on Amazon there is a gizmo that actually, if you want to record the output of this old camera directly to like a little handheld gizmo. I know this is not great, we're live, and I don't have a full screen of this, but Cam, are we able to see that? All right, Let me see if I can blow it up. Whoops, hold on. Yeah, it's live, right? So I hope you guys are having a great time. So we have this. There we go. So this thing is $150 on Amazon, and it basically does the same thing as the RCA to HDMI adapter, but you don't need the HDMI if you want to record directly into the little box. Let's see it again, Cam. Record it directly into the box. As we see here, it's $150 on Amazon, and it's from a company called Clear Click Video to Digital Converter 2.0, so it's the second generation.
We have another question.
Oh, what's the question?
What company do you recommend to buy blank VHS tapes?
Oh, well, company, that's a really great question. Well, you know what? You probably want to get higher quality tapes, because here's the problem with buying VHS tapes right now. VHS tapes, I believe, have not been made since something like maybe 2002, something like that. Or is it 2012? It's either 2012 or 2002. No, it's got to be 2012. They stopped making VHS tapes, I believe. If that's the case, these tapes have been sitting around for a really long time, and over time, however they bond the magnetic particles to the VHS tape, that stuff's going to start to it's going to start, the particles are going to drop off the tape. So here's a couple notes, at least how I would approach this. If you're talking about quality of tapes, probably Sony, TDK, tapes you've heard of, probably are good buys, but don't buy really old video VHS tapes, especially VHS tapes from like the 80s that are, even if they're wrapped up, they're probably going to have lots of dropout. Dropout is when the magnetic particles fall off the basically the tape backing.
Nerd alert.
Oh, there's a nerd alert? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got?
That is the nerd alert.
Okay. Funny guys, funny nerd alert. If you said nerd alert, that's really great because you watch this show and you know all about the nerd alert. So, I hope I was able to answer your question. Who asked that question?
That was Oreo fan again.
Oreo! Hey, Oreo fan. I hope that answered your question, I hope. So try to buy newer VHS tapes closer to, I think, 2012.
So Sony and TDK?
Sony, TDK, Panasonic, any name brand tapes, I would totally go ahead and buy. You can go to eBay, you can buy them in bulk, and so you'll be just fine. I actually have a whole case in the other side of the wall in the lab, in the storage area, a whole box of tape that I just bought recently, 1 hour Sony VHS tapes. Just go to eBay and you'll find oodles of them. So to finish up, just in case you were curious, when we produce this show, I generally want to record the video from my old cameras at the highest quality possible. So I have a gizmo that is this monitor right here. This is a Blackmagic 7-inch video assist recorder and monitor. Now, I use this because it uses a codec called ProRes to record the video. Now, ProRes is a broadcast quality codec. A codec is what's called compression, decompression, not to get into the weeds of all that stuff, but it's basically how your video signal from your old camera gets compressed, compression, decompression, codec. Is that what that's for? At any rate, and it basically takes that video file, squeezes it down to something you can play back on your computer. Generally, when you have really highly compressed video codecs, such as the one that is from this Amazon $150, hold on. So the codecs from this Amazon $150 monitor it's going to be so highly compressed that the quality is going to be okay, but if you're using it to like edit a YouTube video like myself, you want something of higher quality. That's why we go to the Blackmagic video recorder. Now, this thing is like an M1 Abrams tank of video recorders. This can record standard def images all the way up to HD imagery, but there's also an SD to 4K version that costs about $200 more. This was about $700. I was too cheap to spring for the 4K recorder. Now, there is a caveat to all that. Not only you need the camera, of course, the power supply, but there's a couple other things in the mix you're going to need. One of them is this analog to, let's cut to 3, there we go. This analog to digital converter. Unlike this monitor here, this monitor needs, it's digital and it needs the analog signal from the big old camera here. Cut to 2, sure.
Want to show it in camera 2?
Here we go. So we're going to do this. So this is a Blackmagic analog to digital converter, and what it does, it takes a signal from an old camera. Let's go to camera 3. It takes a signal from the old camera. Now here's the curveball. It has, where are these little BNC connectors here, right? These are sort of like broadcast connectors, and you're going to need little adapters for your RCA cable to be able to screw these into the connectors here. Hold on, I just want to make sure. Yeah, that's right. So you'd plug it into this connector here, would be your RCA cable. Then you have the SDI output connector here that would run into camera 3, would run into this guy here. And actually, that is, interestingly enough, if we go to the wide shot, camera 1, how we get the output of what drives this whole system is basically an AV selector box that goes through one of these analog to digital converters. So when I record stuff, I use this, and that's why you're seeing the Dave's Retro Video Lab on there. It's the output of this, or really this JVC. I think this is a JX S777 video selector box. I think it's from like 1992 or something like that. And that's how I get the feed to here. And what's really great with this is I can record to a very low compressed video file the output of, you know, camera or a VCR, something like that, to use in the edit. It's really the Swiss Army knife of recording things. Nope, it's almost ready to fall. There we go. So, in a nutshell, that is how you get the output of the old camera to the new monitor, and that's about it. How many people are watching?
We have 4 people watching right now.
4 people.
We have a few questions.
All right, let's take some questions from the audience.
Does Walmart still sell VHS tapes?
No, I don't think so. No, Walmart. I think if you need VHS tapes, you got to go online to eBay. Walmart and CVS and all those retailers that have, you know, the little like, the little parts and, you know, recordable DVDs, that's what you're talking about in that little section, say at Walmart. They're not going to have VHS tapes, unfortunately. What's the other question?
What do you think about Digital 8?
Digital 8, High 8, all those formats, they're great. My only thing is, they're not as high, well, I guess you'd say resolution, but I guess it is resolution. You know, a Digital 8 is really great. I personally don't record anything to old tape stock. I generally use like a monitor like this, but that's because of my sort of extreme needs. But Digital 8, those cameras are fun. Those are from like what, the like early to mid 90s. You got High 8, which I think was sort of like the predecessor to Digital 8, and then before that you had the 8mm. I think I actually have somewhere, it may not be here, it might be buried in my vault underneath the Nevada desert. I may have a Digital 8 camera from my collection that's buried out there somewhere. Any other questions?
No, I think that's...
Who's watching?
We have five people watching.
Who are their names?
We have Cyberlight.
Hi, Cyberlight. How are you? Who's the next person?
Oreo's still here.
Oreo's still there. Great. Oreo's. I'll go get the double stuffs in a moment. What else?
We have Fabrizio Imperial.
Ah, Fabrizio. How are you, Fabrizio? Who else?
And Federico Dorigati.
Federico, Fabrizio. Wow, it sounds very international. Let us know where you guys are joining us live from. I want to welcome you to Dave's Retro Video Lab. We thought for just the heck of it, we were just going to take the show live. We're here in the lab. I got a ton of old school video gear. If you check out my channel, I focus on a particular camera, and that episode will feature the camera. The last one we did...
Cyberlight's from Texas.
Ah, hey, Cyberlight from Texas. I was in Houston. Where else was I? I think it was Houston. There's great barbecue in Houston, I believe. Great steak. I think I was there for the Super Bowl many, many, many years ago. So recently, we featured... Hey, Cam, why don't you cut to the low cam? We featured our friend, the CCD V8 AF camcorder. That was in a previous episode. A real workhorse of a camera. Really a fun camera. Really enjoyed it. We can check out a previous episode we did for that. But what I was talking about earlier is how to get the output of this old camera to an HD, a monitor with an HDMI input. Now here's the thing. This is very, very super duper looper important. This little gizmo for you guys watching, cut to the low camera, there we go. This little gizmo is not an upscaler. I don't think it's oh, it is an upscaler. Whoops, I'm an idiot. So allegedly, this thing will upscale your SD video to 1080p. I don't know about that because I tried to get this thing to work on camera 3, on this thing here, and it would not put out a picture. So therefore I thought, oh, all it did was just convert the RCA video to the HDMI. I'm a little skeptical as to whether or not this is truly an upscaler. Because let me tell you, upscalers are really expensive. So how they make a little $10 box to do the same thing. Is that in focus? Here we go. There we go. So how they make a little $10 box to be an upscaler. Maybe it is an upscaler, but I'm guessing you have to have a monitor that takes an SD signal. I'm not sure, but if you want to, I don't know, I would do your research. I don't believe this is an upscaler. What's the question? What's the question?
From Cyberlight.
Yes, Cyberlight.
What
yes.
are you using for a video switcher for your live show?
Oh, that's a very good question. Is it Cyberlight or Cyberlife?
It's Cyberlight.
Cyberlight. That is a very good question. We use vMix. And vMix, really, if you're thinking about doing a live show, or even this show we record and isolate cameras, you want to get yourself vMix. For those of you that don't know what vMix is, it's, I'd call it production software, and you need a pretty powerful computer to run the vMix software. But vMix is like a TV production suite in a software. Here, Cam, let's give him a tour. So let's cut to the low camera. So this is all being done with vMix. Let's cut to the other camera 3. Hey, look at that. And then we can cut back to camera 1. Cam, why don't you take the little live bug in and out?
Sure, so...
Boop, and then put it back in. Dink. And that's done with vMix. But here's the thing with vMix. You not only need just the software. There is a huge... you need a computer that's really powerful. And you also need a video capture card to take in the camera video so you can get it into vMix and then stream out to, say, like YouTube, like we're doing right now. I am using a, what is it, a Blackmagic Quad 4K capture card. And that I have 4 cameras that go into that, and then vMix will take those 4 cameras, suck them in, and then you can cut between them. We can put in graphics that are made from Photoshop, and you can do all sorts of really fun things. Did you have any other questions about vMix? Are there any other questions, period?
We do have another question.
Uh-oh, I'm waiting for Dave's an idiot question, but...
What's that gold statue back there?
Oh, this one right here? Wow, that's an interesting question. That comes up all the time. Well, actually, no. I've been doing this for 2 years, and this is like the last month is when people have been asking about the gold statue. So, where is it here? Hold on. So go ahead and take, oh, no, take the 3, camera 3. There we go. So, this is an Emmy Award. It's a real Emmy Award. Let's cut back into the camera 3. This is a real Emmy Award. My day job, and I am a you can cut to camera 1. I am a TV director is my day job, and I won a couple Emmys for some of the stuff I've directed. I don't really focus on that, but that's why my show sort of has this TV quality to it. But I won this for the show that I worked, couple shows that I worked on. We won the award for best special event coverage during a breaking news event. Any other questions, Cam?
No, I think that's it.
Internet land, you don't have any other questions? You don't have, like, what else we got on the wall, whatever?
Well, we have 1 viewer right now.
Oh, that's why. Oh. Who is that one viewer?
Who is the 1 viewer watching?
Who's the one soul that I'm talking to right now? Who is it? What's his name?
I don't know. Doesn't tell me.
Oh.
Oh.
I wonder if you're the viewer. No, you
And
can't
now
be.
it's 0.
All right, let's shut it off.
Wait, but there's still people typing.
How is there still people typing if it tells us there's only no viewers? What is somebody typing?
It's hey and then me, and I just got it.
Hey me? Who is hey me? Who is it?
So one person said hey.
Hey.
And then wait, Oreo says there's 6 people watching, but just don't trust the software.
All right, we can't trust. Wait a minute. What did I do with my laptop? Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, Internet land. Wait a
Ace
minute.
Paul is here.
Oh, hey, Ace Paul. I see you're not busy today. You know what? I'm going to pull out my crappy laptop. Oh, I got to log in. Never mind. But, to tell you, some of you new people, a little bit more about Dave's Retro Video Lab. I buy old video gear from yesteryear, and I have my YouTube channel, which, where I talk about the gear. And generally, with each episode, I focus on a specific camera for each of the episodes. Recently, we've been going live. We went live, I think, last week, or was it 2 weeks? I think it was last week. And then today we decided, oh, what the heck, we're going to go live. So, while you guys are here, tell you what, we are going to focus on this. Hold on. We're going to put this Sony HVC 2800. And by the way, you're probably wondering, what is the sticker on the side of the camera? Well, that sticker, I bought this, I guess it was part of the University of University of California's camera, I guess. And somebody eventually sold it. I guess they sold it to somebody, and then that somebody, but there we go. So this camera is a Sony HVC 2800. It's from 1982. It's a very, very, very old school camera. See you later. One of our lab assistants is leaving, huh?
I am not.
No, apparently she denies being a lab assistant, but at any rate. So, see you later. So what we've got here is this is just a video camera, kids. This is not a camcorder. This is very old. This is a, here, Cam, let's get rid of some of this junk. We are improvising right now. So what we've got here, why don't we cut down to that low shot? There we go. So what we've got here is a Trinicon camera, again from 1982. And it's pretty basic. The controls here, You can do some fine color controls. You got daylight, auto filter, and whatnot. And then you have a gain control. There wasn't really much of this camera to be cool. Huh? Anyway, so our director is getting some notes. And so let's go in. Oh, we're going to get some feet. Oh, we won't get. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Let's put this right there. So let's go into, you know, amazingly enough, the quality from this. Oh, here, Cam. Here, let me see. You got to tilt that camera up a little bit, or take camera 3. That might be faster. There we go, I guess. So the quality from this camera is actually pretty good. The setup level is a little high, and you probably need to go in there and tweak it. Here, cut to the camera 1 and let's see what happens. I'm sorry, camera 2. And you go ahead and tilt it up. So on the side of the tripod,
yeah,
on the other side, or you can do that. So there we go. And then just hit the focus on the autofocus on the camera. So there we go. The chip chart looks okay on that monitor there. It's kind of weak. The colors are not vivid. I mean, after all, this is a Trinicon tube from 1982. I wouldn't expect it to have like stellar or characteristics, I should say. And this camera probably wants tons and tons of light, especially these old cameras. But let's see. Why don't you cut down to this low camera? Someone's
asking, is the camera on?
Oh, it sure is. Yeah, the camera is on. Here, hold on. 1 second, I'm going to step away. Hold on, internet land. We're freelancing here. Just to help us out. Why don't you cut to that? There we go. And then we're going to tap it. Right now it's in focus. All right, good. Yes, the camera is actually on. And now you can see the output. The problem is it needs tons and tons of light. Now what's really cool is this camera has like a level, like these little lines inside the viewfinder that tells you when the camera needs light. Let's see, is that the... Oh no, here we go. Oh, there we go. Wait a minute. That's as much light as I can get. But you know what? Hold on. Let's try over here. How does that look? Is there enough light there? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, look at that.
It's visible. It doesn't seem to have a rich color.
No, yeah, this tube has seen better days. It's just over time the tubes degrade. I mean, it's, you know what? I would use it still, kind of. Hold on, let's see the old Mac.
We have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does it have the same lines as the JVC GRC1?
No, actually, that's really a great question. Interestingly enough, this camera, the lines look more like, and you know what? Maybe I'll try to show you the lines. Hold on 1 second. We're going to do something very daring and bold. Not with a screwdriver. I just want to take this off for a minute. So let's see if I can open up the viewfinder. Here we go. So Cam, we're going to try to show our friends here so Cam, if you can cut to the low camera. Hold on, let's see. Ooh, there we go. Can you zoom in any more to the line that's in there?
Oh.
So it's going to be right up here.
The viewfinder.
Yeah, hold on. Hold on.
I don't know if...
Wait a minute. You got to...
I don't know if this camera can zoom in anymore.
Hold on.
I know I can... Yeah.
1 second.
That's the viewfinder. You could bring it up to the camera. What do you think?
You'll just leave it like that, I guess. So, let's see. Do you see enough of the little lines there? I guess you do, but you can see the little white line right in the viewfinder, right? What's interesting is, unlike the JVC camera, which I think is a solid, it's like a little bar that I think moves, the line in here is kind of like a squiggly line showing you, cut to the low camera here, please. The little squiggly line in there actually gives you, I think, more of like in the image what's hot and what's dark. Cut back to the low camera, please, and just keep it there. And what I'm going to do is, here, let's try this. I hope I'm not boring you guys to tears. See how the lines are kind of, when I put this chip chart in there, see how the lines, I think, get kind of squiggly? Because I think it's showing the different luminance levels of what's in the chip chart, I believe. Cam, does that look squiggly? I can't tell from this distance.
It looks a bit squiggly. What do you think,
good.
chat? You think it looks squiggly?
Do you guys think that looks squiggly? That's a very... but you know how we'll know? Wait a minute, you ready? Watch when I put this in front. Go to that low camera. Hold on. I don't see anything moving here. Hold on, kids. Cut back to the wide. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Watch this. Ready? Watch how when I put the... Keep it on the low camera. When I put the white image, you'll see the squiggly bar go up. So what's happening is the bar on that center line, when the item is really hot or too bright, the little squiggly line moves this way. When it's too dark, it moves that way. So watch when I drop this. Hold on. Yeah, you see how the squiggle? So when it's actually, it's the other way. When it's really hot or when it's overexposed, this squiggle goes to the left, and when it's really dark, it goes to the right. So see how that kind of moves like a wave? Is that right? It is happening. Go to one. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Yep. Oh, that's very cool. So I hope that answered your question. Maybe in too much detail.
We have a recommendation.
Oh, what's the recommendation?
From Dr. Smart.
Dr. Smart, who must be very smart.
That viewfinder needs some new capacitors.
Oh, yeah, everything needs new capacitors. Hell, everything in this wall and everything over there needs new capacitors. You know, interestingly enough, I wish I had the ability to install new capacitors on stuff. They'd probably fix half my cameras. Like this little Canon VC200, this little POS camera. Well, I'll put it, how about camera 3? This little POS camera, and you're going to be like, Dave, what does POS mean? Well, that means piece of poop. This thing, I have bought probably 5 of these, maybe even 7, and none of them work. They have all sorts of issues, and I'll tell you why I think that is. Actually, I know sort of why that is. Canon made their cameras so cheaply with like the cheapest capacitors known to man that it's a miracle that... Oh, there we go. That's a good shot, Cam. Hold on. Where are we going? This way? There we go. They made these cameras with the cheapest capacitor. Cut back to it. They made these cameras with the cheapest capacitors ever. And if you can find a Canon camera that works, it is truly a miracle. I mean, I gotta tell you, I've bought so many of these that I just got tired. I couldn't find one that works. I'm sure it's a capacitor thing. You know, and hold on, does that look? No, this looks better. It's like that. There we go. The Canon VC30s, Canon VC10s, VC20s, all POS cameras because they're probably capacitors. They all just, excuse my language, shit the bed. Oh God, I hope the internet police don't come after me. But essentially, the capacitors just die. And Canon seems to be the most problematic of cameras with the capacitor problem. And I think I even read, too, online about how Canon installed cheap capacitors because they didn't expect their cameras to have a lifespan of maybe 10 years. Who the heck thought that clowns like me and other people out there were going to be buying these crappy old video cameras and still trying to keep them running for all this time? Cam, how many viewers do we have?
10.
10? 10? Wow, we're gaining all this momentum. This is exciting. So, what else? Any other questions? Feel free to ask questions, internet friends.
Dr. Smart actually offered to fix the camera for you.
No! Dr. Smart?
Yeah.
Where's Dr. Smart in the? Where are you from, Dr. Smart? You don't have to say exactly where, but like California, Europe, Antarctica. Where are you from, Dr. Smart? Because Dr. Smart, if you can fix some of my stuff,
Chicago.
Chicago. Oh, we were just talking about Chicago, right? Because wow, this is so funny. We had, was it Oreo fan? Is he still there? Oreo guy.
Oreo, are you still there?
Oreo guy, are you still? I know you're not Oreo guy. What is it, Oreo fan? I don't remember.
Oh, hold on. Oreo fan.
Oh, Oreo fan. Hold on one second. You know what, friends?
He's still here.
Oh, he still is. Excellent, excellent. Hold on. I should just log in and save you because I can see this stuff too. Anyway, I'm not going to waste any more of your time because you guys are so awesome to be to stick around and watch our live, just for the heck of it, streamed show. I'm trying to put it here right now. Hopefully it'll come up. But this computer is a wicked piece of garbage. Hold on. Wait a minute. Oh, there. Oh, I see the problem, Cam. It's showing the same PyCon. Anyway, hey, there I am. Look at that. So we're back to. I can see maybe some of the viewer comments here. Oh yeah, look at that. What do you think using a phone? Oh, using a iPhone as a camcorder, been using Sony. Okay, well, did I answer? Oh, was it Dr. Smart? Dr. Smart, email me at davesretrovideolab@gmail.com with your information, and I will contact you. And maybe there's a couple items there's a couple items I would really like to get fixed. Oh, and I have a shelf worth of stuff. So be careful of offering your services. Oh, and I also have to talk about my JVC Super VHS problem that we did an episode, and I have sort of a conclusion to that. But at any rate, we have more questions. Oh my gosh.
Now,
let's see if YouTube removes my name.
Sounds,
oh, I know. Yeah, I know who that guy is. Sony was. Oh, sorry,
so
you missed the Pizza Cast.
If you
Yes.
want to watch the Pizza Cast, the video's up there.
Yeah. So, Dr. Vet Sounds. I think I got that wrong, but you can go back to our previous live stream. It's available to watch, all 1 hour of it. We're kind of freelancing today. We had some time. I actually had one lab rat available, so I said, hey, let's go live. So here we are, streaming on the internets, as I call it. Thank you, Dr. Smart. So, is the only retro video I have. I'm hoping to find... So Sean Sullivan, or Sean, you're hoping to find a camera beyond your JVC GRC1U. Good luck. Most of them are garbage. And even if the eBay person is like, oh, well, this camera works, ask them a few questions about that, especially when they have a beta movie. It's like, I bet you they have a beta movie, but they don't have a beta max to play the beta movie cassette, the beta cassette that you record in your beta movie. So how do they know the camera works? So good luck buying old cameras. They really are a heck of a lot of fun. I'd probably stay away from the old tubed cameras because most of them, the image quality degrades over time. Probably a CCD camera from like 1985 on might do you better. What was another question there?
We have, would you be so kind and write in the chat your email address?
Sure. So hold on. Oh, do I have to log in here? Oh, maybe I can do that. Wait a minute. 1 second, kids. Hold on.
We also have a viewer from Peru.
A viewer from Peru? What? Oh, you know what? Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to step away for just a moment. Internet friends, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Hold on. Here, do me a favor.
Yep.
I'm just going to jump in here and I'll explain why later. 1 second, friends.
Such a long email address.
I know. Just make sure it's spelled right. Dave's right. Yeah, there we go. All right, there we go. And I'll explain why I had to do that. So while we're here, so now we got this table filled with stuff. To get some of you guys up to speed, I wanted to show with a little POS Amazon.com thingy how I go about taking the output of this old Sony HVC 2800 vintage camera from 1982 and how we get it on to a monitor with an HDMI input such as this guy here. Just to review quickly, what did I do with it? Did I just chuck it? No. What did I... Anyway. Oh, here it is. What we've got, and this is quick, I won't waste anybody else's time. This is just for our new friends. We have this little... Oh, because we moved the camera. That's fine. We have this little HDMI. It's a RCA to HDMI upscaler. It takes RCA video from an old camera, converts it to an HDMI video, and apparently it can upconvert to 1080p and 720p, which is handy if you want to watch the output of your old camera on a present-day monitor. So you're probably saying to me, but Dave, why don't I see anything? And that's a really great question. That's because I took the power away, and hopefully, wait for it. Oh, there it is. But here, let's take this. All right. How are you guys doing today? Why are you sitting at home and not outside enjoying the nice weather? At least outside the lab, the weather is really, really nice. And so we're not going to be on for too much longer because I have lab things to do, among other things. But I guess, there we go. Anyway, so what other questions, guys? What else do you have here? Hey, thanks, Dr. Smart. I really appreciate it.
We have another question.
Oh, what's that question?
Actually, we have multiple questions.
Uh-oh, here we go. There's going to be an onslaught of multiple questions. Here we go. It's great.
Hi, Dave.
Hey.
Do you currently own...
Wait a minute. Tell me who the person is.
It's Matthew.
Hey, Matthew. What's your question? Go ahead.
Hi, Dave. Do you currently own or plan to buy a Sony VX3 3CCD Hi8 camcorder? It's an analog precursor to the VX1000 and looks quite interesting.
The lab rats know me to be somewhat, well, I'd say cheap. Yes. I don't have that camera. I know what camera you're talking about. I really would like to get a VX1000, and there's actually a subscriber that was going to loan me their VX1000 for the purposes of our lab demonstration stuff or show. But the Hi8 cameras are very cool. Sony's cameras, though, I find they're hit or miss when what do you call it? They're hit or miss when they work or not. And it's really hard buying cameras on eBay because most of the time they don't work and you can't trust the people that are selling them. So unless I go to the Goodwill, right? And you go to the Goodwill and you find, say, the camera you were just talking about, I might want to get one of those. My problem is I won't call myself a camera hoarder, though I think my family would probably consider me to be a camera hoarder. But I have a large storage, I call it the bunker, but I have a large storage locker filled with old gear. And the purposes of doing this is to basically get all that old gear onto the internet where it can be appreciated for many years to come, and then I will sell it all. And that is why I am doing this.
We have another question.
What's that?
CRT.
CRT. What's going on, CRT?
Do most of those old cameras just send out composite, or do any separate luminance or chrominance or something like
great question. Most cameras have a composite out. However, their cameras, mid to late 80s cameras had the S video outs. But then cameras that had component out, where you had Y minus whatever, the luminance and all that other stuff. I think the more expensive cameras ENG cameras may have had those kind of outputs. The typical run-of-the-mill cameras, I think, had S-video outs, were about as good as it was going to get for a consumer type cameras. Maybe some industrial or even maybe a prosumer camera would have that kind of output. I hope that answered your question. What's the next one?
Did you modify the connector? Mine has a huge plug for my portable Betamax.
Wait. Who is that?
That is from
Tanis
V4 Power.
Tanis V4 Power. So, are you? I don't know if he's talking about our. Where is it? Oh, so for this thing, read the question again.
Did you modify the connector?
I don't know if it's. Oh, I'm guessing he's talking about this power supply. So, hold on. Out of this particular power supply, thanks, Cam. Out of this particular power supply is an RCA out with a bunch of 1/8 or mini plugs for the audio, and then that just ran straight into my. Thing keeps dropping down here. That ran in straight into my little AV. Hold on, this desk is getting quite messy. Uh-oh. Anyway, that ran into this little gizmo here. Wait, I'll just leave it up. There we go. So I think that's what you're talking about. So yeah, this little RCA connector came directly from the power supply. Let me see, is that... That's right in about focus. I hope that's what you're talking about. What's next, Cam? Any other questions?
Oh! We have... Hold on, we have some. I just have
Wow, we have oodles of questions about the SMF.
Do you... Okay,
Go ahead.
another question from
Yeah.
James. Quick question. Do you have a Sony CCD V3?
A Sony CCD V3? No. I think that is... I have a V8. I have a V8 AF. So this is the AF back here. I don't have the V3. I do have... Is it the V9? There's one in storage that I have. It is this really boxy, it's not even boxy, it's like this very narrow but tall camera with a handle, and I think it came out in '86, and it was the precursor, I think, to Sony's little Handycam, but it had a recorder on it, and you could see video through it, and it was supposed to be a smaller version of most of the other cameras. I think it was a V9 maybe, it's back in deep storage, but that's the only other CCD cameras I have. I got the 8F, 8AF, and the V8. By the way, for you guys who don't know, my first video camera that I bought by working at a Roy Rogers restaurant, flipping burgers in the summer of 1985, I saved money and I bought a Sony CCD V8 camcorder, brand new from a local store. The owner of the store did not believe that this 16-year-old kid was going to have enough money to buy the camera. I think it was $1,200 or $1,300. And I plunked down a wad of cash on the table and said, I want to buy that camcorder. And the owner was like, oh, okay. Like, holy smokes, this kid has enough money to buy the camera. But that was my first video camera, by the way, that I owned. What other questions?
Any other questions, Chuck?
Guys, do you have any other questions? Hold on, I see... Oh, wait a minute. Hey, you got a Sears VHS camcorder. This is Oreo Fan from eBay. I'm taking on a field trip 3 weeks from upcoming Tuesday. I hope that Sears VHS camcorder works. I'll tell you a funny story. So I also belong to a film group, and we make movies and all that other junk. Well, we thought it'd be really cool to feature a... we had a beta movie camcorder, but we were using a VHS camcorder to actually record the footage because we thought it was reliable at the time. We were midway through shooting our little movie. This is like 4 years ago, and we had all this footage in the VHS camcorder. Well, it ate the whole tape, and well, not the whole tape, but it ate enough tape that it ruined a lot of our footage because we were trying to pull the tape carefully out of the camcorder, and I just get really worried when you take, and this is just me personally, I like to record my footage, and I know this is not practical, I know it makes no sense. I like to record my footage because of my YouTube channel with this black magic thing as video assist, and it requires, you can keep the shot right there, it requires this analog to digital converter. But as we discovered, and what was that, Sean? No, where is he? No, Oreo Fan. What I recommend, Oreo Fan, is just for, I would try getting, if you can swing it, hold on, this $150 gizmo from eBay. Not eBay, from Amazon. And what I would do is I would look at the reviews to see if it's legit. Keep it down here, Cam. See if it's legit and bring that along to record your footage and not rely on the S-VHS camcorder. I know it's not, where's that? There it is. I know it may not seem practical, but at least it'll be easier to transfer your footage to your computer when you want to edit it and put it on YouTube or whatever. What other questions do we have?
Aren't those Sears from Tanis? Aren't those Sears camcorders rebranded Panasonic?
What is it with you guys and these Sears camcorders? Well, first of all, Sears camcorders, if I'm not mistaken, like for instance, like JCPenney had their camcorders. I guess Sears had theirs. I have to be honest with you, I don't know. Well, here, hold on. I could go to eBay and look up, and I'll tell you just by looking at it. Well, hold on. Wait a minute. We have some magical TV stuff I have to... Oh, there it is.
We actually have an answer from Oreo.
Oh, Oreo fan, what's the answer? Help me out. Save me some time.
They're rebadged RCA and maybe Hitachi cameras.
Oh, yeah, because Hitachi made cameras, I think made RCA's cameras, I think, because they generally looked pretty similar. By the way, first time I ever used a video camera was a Hitachi friend's dad. This is how I got into video cameras, by the way. Back in like 1981, maybe. Friend's dad, they lived down the street. They were the family that had everything in our block. My family did not, because cameras and recorders are very, very expensive. And my friend's dad bought a Hitachi camera with a VTR pack, and we would go out into the neighborhood and record movies and do all sorts of fun stuff with it. And that was like totally just light bulb just went dink, went off, and I was like, God, this stuff's awesome. And my passion for camcorders and cameras and stuff started right at that moment when my friend Eric's dad bought a Hitachi camera and VTR. And then we got really clever. My mom got really pissed off because I would take our home VCR, which was not cheap, but it had flying erase heads. It was a dockable RCA VCR from maybe 1983, maybe. I would carry that down the street to Eric's house, and we would hook them up. We would record the stuff onto Eric's dad's VTR with his camera, and then we would play and record and make like really rudimentary edits with my family VCR, which had many miles of walking up and down our neighborhood, and it never died. That was the amazing thing. My mom used to yell at me like, "Why are you taking that thing down the street for? You're gonna break it." But amazingly enough, it was an RCA VKP 825, and it had like a wood grain front, and it was one of those dockable VCRs. Very intelligent design by RCA, I might add. Certainly it was better than having that umbilical cord between the two VCRs, and you had to pull things. This was great. It was just a dockable VCR, but my family, we could not afford the camera to go with the dockable VCR. So, well, anyway. But one other note about myself. When I was a kid, my grandmother would order the New York Times, in the Sunday edition, and I would go over to her house, and she would have the New York Times Sunday edition with all the flyers or inserts from all the New York City camera stores. So you would see cameras like this featured, you know, in the print ads, and I just thought this stuff was so cool, and kind of fueled my interest in why I ultimately got into television. What other questions, Cam?
Actually, we have a response from Oreo fan.
Oreo fan?
According to Google,
it's
a rebadge. I think he's referring to the Sears.
Yeah, the Sears camera.
Of the RCA CPR 250 VHS camera.
Thank you, Oreo fan. It's great that we have our research team out there checking this. You know, it's funny, and I don't know if it's just you guys trolling me or whatever it is, but I get so many questions about Sears cameras, and I don't understand why.
You should make a video on it.
I should. You know what? Maybe we'll make a video where I I will order a Sears camera on eBay just to satisfy your need to discuss the Sears cameras. It just makes me laugh. I do know one thing. What was it? Was it, gosh, Sears also sold Beta movie, or, oh, it was wait a minute, wasn't it, was it Toshiba? No, it was Sony. Well, Sears sold Betamax stuff, too, under their own brand, I think. Oreo fan, you may have to help me out with that one, but I believe they sold Betamax under their own Sears brand. What else do we got, Cam?
This one's from Ace Paul.
Oh, go ahead, Ace Paul.
What would be the best Sears camcorder to make a movie about killer Christmas trees?
Wow, that's a really great question. You know, I would probably go with a late model, and I'm actually going to answer this question because I know you're a friend and you're a smart ass, but I'm going to answer this question. Essentially, you're going to want to buy a Sears camcorder, like a newer vintage, like a late 80s or early 90s if they even sold them, and you're going to want a CCD image sensor for the sensor for the best image quality, and you're going to want to make sure that it doesn't eat tapes. And if you're making a movie about killer Christmas trees, that's a great idea. I thought of it, though, 30 years ago. Anyway, what else we got? Really? Oh.
Any other questions?
So, wait a minute. There's tons of... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I see Sean would be kind of right that, you know, I did that. We did Matthew. Oh, hey, Matthew Buick. You were on the live last one, I think. Oh, the VX3. Yep, we talked about that. Lab rats, it's also good advice. Oh, good. Okay, so I'm going to bore you guys a little bit more. I'm going to tell you, because some of you will be interested in this. I just got to clear the desk away, because we have all this stuff. So, I have this beauty of a camera. Whoops. We're dropping stuff. Anyway, let me move this out of the way. So, Cam, why don't we go to the low camera here? Oh, boy. Why don't you reframe that? You may have to widen out and tilt down. So, as you're doing that, I'm going to tell our internet friends, tilt down a little bit. That's good. Leave it right there is great. And check your focus. All right. So, we have this lovely JVC what was this thing called? A GF S1000H camcorder, and this camera is of a, hold on, I'm getting all this junk. Hold on, I'm gonna do something here for you all. So let's cut to the wide shot. So what's really interesting here is we did a whole episode, a fun episode that you should check out on our channel about this GF S1000H. One of my favorite episodes, actually. There's a little storyline that goes through it, and we bring in a new character. But at any rate, this camera, I went to go test, and in my show that I have, the typical episode, you know, we present the camera, we talk about it, and then what we do is at the end of the show, we turn on the camera to see if it actually works. Well, we went to turn on this camera, and it did not, well, it didn't work, but then I found out something about it that might help out a lot of people who have these old JVC S1000s. This is a very cool camera. Why don't we cut to the low shot, Cam? Here, and what I'm going to do is that. So what's really interesting about this camera, first of all, it has a really great GUI or user interface. It's S-VHS. It's sort of a really neat camcorder, and I was hoping it was going to work. Well, interestingly enough, when you power the thing on, which I'm going to do right now, and you're going to see this on eBay. Hold on. Oh, did I just rip my pants? Hold on. Here we go. 1 second. I'll be there in a moment. Just show the camera, Cam. There we go. Now, you see that little zero, like, right there? Well, what's really interesting is you're like, well, Dave, the camera, wide shot, the camera has power? Well, that's really great. That means, hey, I should be able to turn this thing on and fire her up. Let's see what happens. Uh-oh, is it working? Oh, wow. It's actually working now. Cut back to the low shot. So look at that. You see the little LCD display there? So now the one thing it's not doing, stay low. Ah. See, now I can't eject. So it's got partial, it can partially work, but what I found out is, here, let's cut to the low. Here, hold on. Where is it? 1 second, I'll get back to it. Oh, here's the battery release. All right, so what's really interesting about this is when you take the power supply and you just slide it down the track, there's a little sweet spot where it will want to be fully operational. Now, right now, it's not. It doesn't want to eject. I think that's the eject button. Oh, no, that's the power button. I'm an idiot. Hold on. Ah, there it is. Right now, it just happens to be working. Why don't you cut low again? Oh, just keep low. Hold on. Uh-oh, see, now it doesn't want to work. Ah, the bugger. Yeah, eject. Yeah, so now it doesn't want to work. But when I take this battery, or the power brick, and I slide it in, like at a certain point. Oh, yeah, it's being really stubborn now. Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. I got to turn the power on. See, so you see all that good stuff there. Then I go to eject it. Hold on. Oh, oh. Hey, look at that. What I found out, it's really weird, but with the power brick, it really, like, it was kind of finicky. And I have a feeling by sliding it up and down, what was happening is maybe there wasn't enough power getting to the camera. Maybe there's not enough power getting down to the camera. So what was happening is it was getting some power, enough to generate the little zero, but not enough to fully enable the camera to be able to actually work. Now you're going to say to me, well, Dave, does the camera work? Interestingly enough, well, here, I will show you. Uh-oh. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I have to get the tape out. Is it in here? No. Where's my official VHS tape? What did I do with it? No, that's a beta. Oh, is this Star Wars? No, that's Star... Well, all right, we'll use Star Wars. Why not? So we're going to take this Empire Strikes Back tape. Let's see if this opens.
Hopefully you don't get a copyright.
Nah, we'll just play it for a second, and it won't be full. So we're going to put this in here. How many viewers do we have? Did we lose them all? We have 10 still.
Yeah.
All right, so what we're going to do now... Oh, nuggets, you know what? Oh, no. I think I put a lot of the stuff, camera one, I think I put a lot of the stuff into the box, because it's going to show you the output of the camera, and I can't tease you like that. Put the Empire Strikes Back in the camera, and then not show you anything, so...
Wait, chat says it might eat it.
What?
Chat says it might eat the tape.
You know what? Was it chat or Chad?
Chat.
Chat, it's going to be okay. I've already goofed around with this a little while. Hold on. By the way, another little fun thing that I have as I'm moving everything around is this little tiny JVC monitor. Keep it right there, Cam. What I love about this is, who the hell's going to watch a little screen that small? Your eyes are gonna permanently stay just like crazy. Anyway, so here's the box, and in the box I have all the junk for this. Hold on. I put it all away because I thought, oh, I'm not going to bother with this anymore, but because we're live and you guys are hanging out with me on a Saturday, I figured, you know what, let's just go for it. So of course, did I not clean up properly? No. There's the cable. I see it. I got it. All right. So we're going to take this cable. Now, what's really funny with this camera is, let's see, cam right. You got focus on that? Uh-oh, the tape's going to pop. So the audio-video hookup is down here, which is kind of goofy. I guess I kind of understand why they did that. All right. So we're going to put Star Wars Empire Strikes Back in there. By the way, Empire Strikes Back, I don't care what you guys say, best Star Wars movie. And I know that's going to cause all sorts of, Cam 1, all sorts of internet. Oh, he just said that. But at any rate, so now we are going to take the video out and we're going to plug it into here. And let's see. All right, everybody, ready? I'm going to play The Empire Strikes Back. Don't worry, chat. It should be okay. Let's see. Where are we in the movie? Oh, it's the credit sequence. We got to get past that. Hold on. Anyway, So let's check it out. Presto, chango, boink. There we go. So right now you see all black, but I'll fast forward. Hold on. Where is it? Oh, there you go. All right, so here's go a little more forward. Ah, there we go. So the camera, the video, hello camera. So the VCR section, or the VTR section, whatever you want to call it, works, but the camera section wide does not work. So when I stop, let's see. Now, this camera could be one of those dumb E-to-E cameras. well, not E-to-E, but you have to hit play record. But I don't think that was the case. So, chat, don't worry. I'm going to take out the Star Wars tape. So, it kind of works. Now, I have an S-VHS tape, and I want to show you the camera portion and why that, what it looks like. Where is my... I am a horrible live streamer, YouTuber guy, because we didn't practice. We're freelancing right now. We're ad-libbing. We're making this up. This is improv. It's improvisational television, and the lab is a total disaster right now because I just keep pulling stuff out and be like, oh, take a look at this, and oh, take a look at that. Any other questions while I'm looking for the S-VHS?
Well, Dr. Smart says that I already smell dead capacitors.
And you know what, Dr. Smart? You probably are right. You know what? We should have you... Well, actually, Dr. Smart, do you fix... it's like, what's my line? Do you fix these things professionally, or is this a hobby? How long have you been fixing cameras for, or are these things... what? Oh, you're laughing.
Are we going to do an interview, or are we going to...
Well, no, it's not an interview, but listen, he could be somebody we may want to chat with live and talk about how to fix these cameras and the old cameras with the old capacitors.
It's a 15-year hobby.
Oh, no kidding. 15 years? Holy macaroni. Now, that's a long time. I am sorry. I'm being such a rude YouTube live person. I had the live tape. The tape... It must be in a VCR here. Hold on.
Ooh, we got a question.
What's the question?
From Oreo Fan.
Yes, Oreo Fan.
What's your question, Oreo Fan?
What's your question, Oreo Fan? That kind of rhymed. Is Ace Paul still there?
I'm guessing. But
he probably was like, I got better things to do on a Saturday. What time is it? Oh my gosh, it's 2:02. Oh, kids, I can't be on for much longer. I got things to do.
Question.
What's the question?
How do you fix a broken belt on a VHS camcorder?
I bet you that's a Dr. Smart question. But there actually is a YouTuber named 12 Volts, 12VOLTS, and this guy fixes everything. And I would be willing to bet in his archive of videos, he will have a video on how to replace a like a rubber belt in a VCR. It requires, it's not, I don't think it's that hard, but you got to take like some stuff off. You got to take the thing apart to get to it. Typically what happens with old VCRs, like cars, they use belts to, hook up a motor to like what do you call it? Like something to drive the VHS tapes around, like a pulley, kind of, I guess you'd call it. And they use these rubber belts. Well, the problem is these rubber belts over many years, they dry up, they become frail, and they break. So you have to replace them. I thought, was it Sony Betamax? Somebody used just gears or something. I thought they only used gears and not belts, and I could be wrong about that. One of you guys do a YouTube internet search. I'd really appreciate that.
Thomas has a recommendation.
Go.
Assorted belt pack from eBay. It's like $4 and comes in 2 months.
It comes in. Where does it come from? China. So it comes in 2 months.
I think it's quicker from China.
So while we're here, friends, yeah. So you and I've actually done this too, because I bought belts on eBay after watching some YouTube videos. Of course, what else we're going to watch? I bought some belts on YouTube. I mean, on eBay, but I wasn't brave enough. I just lost interest and didn't want to. It's just too much to take a camera apart or a VCR. But it's probably a pretty easy fix. But I know there's you want to once you do that, you want to grease the motor that drives, I think, the belt. There's things you got to do to kind of to maintain the VCRs and their insides and how they work. One quick note about this camera. Let's check it out. And then I got to wrap things up because I got things to do. And I am glad that you guys took the time to hang out and just riff as we talk about old cameras. I thought it'd just be kind of fun to do this. And in the meantime, let's see if I have to hit play record for this thing. You see, look at that. I think it actually gave me an error code. Hold on. Uh-oh. What does 102 mean, other than a radio station? Oh, look at that. Now it doesn't want to turn on again. Here, there we go. Let's keep it right there for a moment. It's got like a 102 error code. Hold on. Off. Oh, there it is. It's back. Can I power it up? But now it's yeah, see, now it's dead again, but that's all right, no worries. I can tell you though, on the wide, oh yeah, there's a sweet spot. Wait a minute, watch this. So go ahead and cut to the low. As I slowly slide it in, there's a point where it makes contact. Hold on. You'll see it, hold on, it's gonna happen. Oh, it's going to take me an hour. I'm not going to waste your time. But, so interestingly enough, you'll see cameras on eBay that have that 0, right? And people are like, oh, it doesn't do anything. I think these cameras are, probably capacitors, among other things, are recoverable. It's just, it could be initially a power problem. As you saw, the VTR worked. I know in this camera that the camera compartment does not work. And sorry. Oh, wait a minute. I know this is. Wait a minute. Oh no, did my monitor die? No, there we go. Anyway, any other questions, guys? Comments, concerns?
Yes, we have a question from Sean.
Yes, Sean.
Would you ever consider doing a live stream using a vintage camera as a live stream camera?
I've thought about it, and I actually have a. What was the name of the company? Yes, I totally want to do that, Sean. It's going to be awesome. I got to get 3 old working cameras together and stream it in I don't know, is it 525, whatever how many of my lines. But yes, I totally want to do that. And I actually there is a mixer. Well, they call it a mixer. I call it a switcher. But there's a switcher. What was the name of the company? It begins with an A, and there was in the mid '90s, there was this company that started coming out with a lot of neat audio mixers, video switchers, and edit controllers, and it began with an A. And I have this stuff in storage, but I have one of their switchers, and it'll totally work. Actually, vMix. So we, as a viewer asked earlier, we use vMix to cut this show. And I almost wonder if I use the upscaler. Oh, wow. This is kind of an interesting thought. So we have this, why don't you cut to the low cam? As you guys have been talking, you've been finding out about this little POS, I call it the piece of shit upscaler. I almost wonder if I can take this, convert the RCA signal to HDMI, and then plug it into my computer. I might be able to then cut the show with vMix and tell vMix, I mean, maybe vMix will take the standard def signal in and automatically know what it is. I think it will do that. So Sean, our next, did I just break something? Our next live show will be, and it might be just one standard def camera. I apologize if it's a 1, but I really want to try to cut it and do a whole vintage show. That's a great idea. And we will definitely work on that.
We have some advice from Dr. Smart.
Yes, Dr. Smart. Go ahead.
To get the JVC into camera mode without a cassette in it,
Yes.
look over the camera. If you see a button labeled monitor, press it without a tape. It should enable cam section.
Yeah. That means, hold on. So what Dr. Smart is saying is that on this camera somewhere, there might be what's called a monitor mode, or a button that says, here, let me put this up. Somewhere on here is a monitor. I was able to get the camera up in camera mode, but I don't think there was a monitor. But I wonder, though, if... there we go. Why don't you get the focus?
I'm trying to.
It's okay.
It's not.
Doesn't want to work?
No,
All right.
I'm tapping it, and it is.
All right, so go to the camera 3 then. There we go. So, I know I was able to get this to work, and it's all because of this stupid little thing. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on, kids. 1 second. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Hold on. Oh, now it's stuck. Wait a minute. Anyway, it's going to take me an hour, but when I did get the camera one, thank you. When I did get the camera working, it had these, I'm going to call it like rainbow wavy lines that just populated the whole image. So you could tell something was going on, but whenever it was just all these rainbow lines. You couldn't make out the image. It was just lines. But I don't remember. I think I had to have a tape, and I think I had to maybe hit play record, I believe. But I don't see a monitor out button on the camera. But right now I can't even turn it on because I have that whole problem with the power supply. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Keep it right there. Oh, that's that. Is it still running? Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can open this up. Oh, hold on.
If it makes a difference, the selector on the Nikon that's trying to focus is yellow instead of
Oh, but that's
white.
good, though.
Oh.
All right, so I can't even get it. Anyway, so I'll cut back to one. So, but if you buy one of these on eBay and you see a 0, that doesn't mean the thing doesn't necessarily it's dead. I think it's a power supply seating issue, like in this one here. So if you can get one that's really inexpensive, roll the dice, pay $20, and see what happens. My biggest gripe about eBay people, the sellers, is they think these things, because they're old, they think they're worth something. And they're not worth something. To you and I, we love these old cameras, right? So there's some nostalgia there. Oh, what?
It works now.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't you cut to 2 for a moment? So, you know, we love these old cameras because they're just a lot of fun. I mean, I was really a vidiot. I call myself that. Really into video stuff. And so they're nostalgic for us. But the eBay people are like, oh, well, it's old. It must be worth something. And it's like, they're not worth anything. There's the JVC version of this camera. The JVC version, the GRC2, I think it's called. They want $300 for that camera, and I'm like, you guys are on crack. There's no way I'm ever going to pay $300 for a camera that doesn't even work. That works, kind of. That was in our previous live stream. We tested that camera out. But at any rate, so my advice, not that anybody asked this, but I'm just dishing out the advice anyway, is that when you're buying these old cameras, you really have to be skeptical as to whether or not they're going to work. And these people charge these absurd prices, or like buy it now numbers that are just ridiculous because, you know, their aunt Steve, or their aunt, you know, like Uncle Steven says, oh, it's old, people want that stuff, we're going to want to buy that. Brr. No, Uncle Steven, the stuff is junk, most of it doesn't work, and I know. Because, by the way, when you buy cameras, I love asking people, hey, where did you get that camera? They'd be like, oh, this was my Aunt Sally's camera that's been in her attic. Bullshit. Wasn't in their attic. They're what I call are pickers, and I think that's a term everybody knows. These people are pickers. They go out on Saturdays or all days, whatever. They go to Goodwill. They go to the Salvation Army. They go to estate sales, and they find these things. And then they turn them around, and they think, ooh, I'm going to make lots of money with this. Well, yeah, they go on eBay and they see some other clown that puts this camera for $150, and it's not worth $150. Listen, I'm willing to pay 30 or 40 bucks to roll the dice to see if a camera works or not. And listen, you got a fighting chance if it's a CCD camera, but most of the time the VTR sections are crap. They don't work because they weren't engineered to last 40 years or 30 years. Except Dr. Smart knows how to make them work, whereas most of us lay people don't know how to make them work. But I will tell you one thing. Was it this guy? Here's a little trick that I learned, and then I really got to shut up and let you guys go so you can enjoy the rest of your Saturdays. And I got some errands to run. And our director, he has some homework that he has to tackle. But here's a little interesting thing. I'm going to use this cam. Wow, this place is a mess. Holy macaroni. 1 second, I got to find the power supply to this camera. It's here somewhere. Wait a minute. Is this it? Is this it? Is this it? No, it's not it. Anyway, so let's get back to the wide. So you're going to buy one of these cameras, and this is particularly like a CCD V110 is a really popular Sony, old Sony camera. You know, it's kind of camera. It has a little stick in the front. You hold it, and it's like a silvery color. So a lot of them, people that are selling them on eBay are like, oh, this camera is only being sold for parts, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't turn on. Well, something that I came across purely by accident, what happens is if the battery, here Cam, on these old cameras like the V8s, the AFs, and the C110s, so you have this little battery compartment, right? Well, people leave the batteries in here forever and ever and ever and ever, and let me add one more, ever, forever. And what happens is when the batteries are left in the camera, you can cut to the wide shot. When the batteries are left in the camera, what happens is they corrode against the contacts that are inside the battery compartment. So there's no contact being made by the the power supply or the battery. There's two little, God, I had it just here a second ago. This is driving me crazy. Hold on, kids. I need to show you this. It's part of the whole reason why I'm explaining this. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. What did I do with that power supply? I promise. It's here somewhere. Oh, for goodness sakes. I just saw it. Anyway, so when you, oh, well, I'll just use this as an example. Hold on. This has nothing to do with a Sony camera, but on the batteries, why don't you cut? See these little contacts here? What happens is on the Sonys, you know, you have two little contacts, and they corrode. Or on the power supplies, they corrode because they're stuck. They were in here forever, and the stuff just leaches out of them, and the acid, whatever, builds up. Well, what you can do is two things. You can cut to the wide shot. So two things that you can do is, oh God, this is killing me. I really want that power supply. Hold on. I am going to find, because this is whole part of the demonstration. I was just looking down at it going, oh, there it is. Oh, wait a minute. You know why? Hold on. All right. I'm going to officially give up. I officially give up. So, sorry to waste your time. But, like, I know it's here somewhere. So what you want to do is the contacts inside the battery compartment, you're going to want to scrape that the crud that's on the terminals inside the compartment. You're going to see these two little terminals. I won't be able to show it to you. Let me see if I can angle it into the light just right here. Cam, where are we? We're right there. I don't know if I'm going to have enough light to get in there, Cam. Yeah, it's not going to be... Well, in there, you're probably going to see... Yeah, there's a little something. You can cut back to the wide. These cameras, there's two little contacts inside the battery compartment. Now, I know Dr. Smart is going to roll his eyes, and I apologize, Dr. Smart, for doing this. I took, like, was it sandpaper or like a... I think whatever you use to file your nails, those plastic... I know this is really bad, but I stole one of my wife's thing to file her nails. It's a, it's like, you know, it has like the sandpaper material on there, And basically what I did was I put it down into here and I sanded off the crud that, and I did it lightly. I wasn't like really aggressive with it, but I put it down into there. When you take the contacts inside the battery compartment, just lightly rub against the contacts to scrape the crud off.
Dr. Smart, he has a response.
Oh, go ahead. What does Dr. Smart say?
So he actually says that sanding down is okay,
But
a better solution is to use vinegar or CLR.
Oh, right, because it breaks down the...
dissolves the battery.
That's right. So that's because Dr. Smart is smart. Yeah, you can use, was it vinegar and what else?
CLR. It is a limestone remover for
limestone. So yeah, the batteries, they over time the crud builds up, whether it be on the contacts, on the battery, or the power supply. And what you want to do is you want to provide that connectivity so the contacts from the power supply, when they slide into the battery compartment, they'll actually make contact. I did it the rudimentary dumb Dave way, like, oh, I'll just take a nail thingy and I'll just scrape that away. But Dr. Smart, because he's smart, basically was like, you're going to use something to break down the battery goop that ended up on the acid or whatever that ended up on there. It's like that greenish crud, I believe. And what you'll find at the whole point of my story that you've been sitting here for 20 minutes listening to, the whole point of my story is some of those Sony camcorders like this one, when owners say, or the sellers say, oh, it doesn't work, it may actually work. They just don't know enough to clean the battery contacts or the power contacts, or terminals, I think they're called, inside the compartment. So that's something worth trying to try to resurrect a camera. I've probably purchased 4 CCD V110s, and amazingly enough, I think all 4 I was able to bring back to life because of that crazy problem. People leaving the batteries for 30 years in the battery compartment. But on a previous video, I talked about old Sony cameras and their CCDs, and Dr. Smart, you'll comment on this, is the CCDs. I have a video where I took apart a BMC 550 because I get these cloudy image problems with Sony's old CCD camcorders, and it was driving me crazy. It's like this milky-ish kind of cloudy look on the video. Well, it turns out that I broke apart a Sony BMC 550. It's on a video on my channel. You can't miss it. It says BMC 550 teardown. And I tore the camera apart until I got to the CCD. I mean, it took forever to tear that thing apart. But at any rate, what was really fascinating is the CCD itself was totally fine, but what was in front of the CCD is what I'll call a little lens block. It was a little like, let me see, I don't know if you can see it up here. It was a little block of glass that had multiple layers that sat right on top of the CCD, and I'm guessing it was like a UV like some sort of filter, something to block out whatever the light hitting the CCD. It was used to filter out whatever it was that hits the CCD. Well, what happened is, and I'm guessing here, is you will see in the video the little multi-layer block of glass, and it's a tiny little thing. It had multiple layers, and there was like contaminants or something over time that was building up inside the layers of this little glass block. And so what was happening is it's like glaucoma for a camera is the best way, or cataracts for a camera. Maybe is it cataracts, the thing that clouds up your vision?
Yep.
Well, it was basically cataracts for a beta movie, and that's one of the things, and it's a Sony problem, and you will see it many, many, many times, not on this CCD V8, but on a lot of Sony's early CCD cameras, like from the 80s, around 85 on, you're going to come across this problem. Is there a question?
Turns out it may be a biological problem like cataracts.
Really? Is this
According to Dr. Smart,
Yes.
It's mold.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Is sandwiched glass slices. If you're picky, you can separate those glass sheets and clean them.
Oh, hell no, Dr. Smart. But Dr. Smart, actually, so you might be able to help me, and how many other friends are watching right now, Tim? Okay, so here's another problem that I get with old Sony Beta movie camcorders, one of these bad boys here. Okay, and I don't have the power to turn this thing on because I'm getting tired and I'm getting lazy, and so I apologize. So, with these Beta movie camcorders, what I get so many times, I've purchased, if you, here, hold on, Cam, the more attractive side is going to be this. Why don't you cut down to the low camera? There we go. I know this is so unconventional, but who cares? So, with this camera, and particularly with BMC, do I have a BMC? No, I don't. Particularly with the BMC 5, this is not a BMC 550. I know that. It's a BMC 220. But you know what I do have? Hold on, kids. Wait a minute. What I do have, oh, it's right here. I have, and I know you guys are going to love this. There's an episode, my BMC 660 episode. I actually bought from Mr. Betamax a working BMC 660, and here is my 660. This guy is just super awesome, and the best part is it works. Oh, do you have the low camera? Is that in the... There we go. Here, hold on. Let me see if I can prop it up somehow. Hold on. Oh my God, this place is like a disaster. Here, we will use this old S-VHS or this old VHS deck to prop up the Beta movie. Maybe that's anyway. So with our BMC 660 here, what I find with the 660s, and you can stay on this for a little while, 660s and the 550s, the video drum, and hear me out, Dr. Smart, what I find is so many people with the video drums, you can cut to one. It's okay, cut to one. It's all good. So, what I find that happens is people leave the tapes in the cameras forever, and ever, and ever, and ever, and ever, and ever, and ever. And what happens is, the particles, and Dr. Smart, you can help me out here, the particles from the, oh, and you know what I have? My SuperBeta test tape. Well, I don't know if it's a test tape, but anyway. So the particles, do you have the low cam? Oh, perfect. So the particles from the beta tape, what happens is, because I think the betas leave the tape, oh, you can cut to the one. The tape cuts around the video, or it wraps itself and stays around the video drum. What happens is when you leave these cameras or camcorders in storage, whether it be in your attic, your basement, wherever, over 35 years or 30 years, those particles just basically bond themselves to the video drum inside the camera. And I can't begin to tell you how many times I have purchased BMC 550s and 660s, and they all have the dreaded crud on the video drum problem. Now, I tried to use a video head cleaner to try to clean off the crud on the drums, but maybe, and it did not, it did a little bit of help, but it wasn't enough to fix the problem. Maybe Dr. Smart knows a better way to remove that crud from the drum, but it seemed to me like it was almost like cemented on there, the remnants, the particles from the beta tape. But that, just so you guys know, I love old beta movies. I don't know why. They're the stupidest, not format, but the stupidest camcorders once you cut low. It's the stupidest camera because you could only record in the camera. You couldn't play back. You couldn't, you know, if you wanted to show Aunt Mary some footage you shot, well, she's going to be like, hey, can you play that back in my VHS machine? Even if Aunt Mary had, or actually Aunt Mary would say this, oh, that's really swell. Why don't we go ahead and play that back on my television? And then you're going to say to Aunt Mary, Aunt Mary, this is a beta movie. I can't play back the videos from my beta movie on your TV. You're going to have to come back to my house, which could be 200 miles away, to see little Joey's first steps. So, beta movie, I know there's all sorts of technical problems, blah, 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 I know. But for some reason, I just thought they were such cool cameras. I don't know. I just have this affinity for beta movie stuff. I've probably got more non-working beta movie, whatever you want to call them, camcorders. But there was an episode of the BMC 660, it was this camera in particular, where I did an original episode. Why don't you cut low? So I did an episode where I had another BMC 660, and I did the whole Dave's Retro Video Lab demo, and the camera didn't work at the end. And the two guys working with me were like, you know, you got to satisfy your YouTube crowd. They're going to want to see a working camera. Well, I'm like, but it doesn't work. We scrapped the whole episode, and I spent, and I won't tell you how much money I spent, but I went to, I think it's MrBetamax.com. He restores old beta movies, Betamaxes, beta everything, and I bought a working beta movie camcorder, and I love it. It is one of my favorite, I mean, I talk about favorite this and that all the time, but by far, this camera gives me the most like fun and nostalgia because it works, which I really love because most of them don't work. So that's just a little thing about my beta movies. Any questions, Cam? Or no, are they all sleeping? Did I put you guys to sleep? Like, are you all sleep snoozing right now?
Well, actually, Dr. Smart had a potential solution.
Oh, tell me, Dr. Smart. What's the potential solution?
Well, Dave, to clear the drum, take a piece of normal paper,
Yeah.
soak it in isopropyl alcohol, and
Yeah.
rub it gently over the drum horizontal to the drum, of course.
Oh, but that's what I did. So Dr. Smart, when I clean the video heads, you take like a regular piece of paper, a clean piece of paper, I believe, and you dip it in the head cleaner, the isopropyl alcohol, I think it is. That's what he said, right?
Yep.
And then what you do is you kind of you rub your finger, your forefinger on like the drum would be like this, and you sort of rub the paper onto the drum, and then you use your other hand to rotate the drum to clear it off. This stuff was like cemented onto the drum. So if you are looking to buy a Sony Beta Movie camcorder, probably a 550, a 660, even the 220s, be careful, because when you look at the eBay auction and there is a tape still in the camcorder, don't buy it, because that tape probably hasn't come out of there in 30-something years, and the magnetic particles have bonded themselves to the video drum. Even if the camera doesn't have a tape, I would ask the buyer, and they're not going to know their asses from a hole in the wall because they don't know what it is they're selling. I would ask the buyer, does the head have any sort of, is the video head nice and clean? And they're going to go, no, I don't feel sick. My head feels fine. And you're going to be like, oh, Jesus. So don't even bother. If you're going to buy a camera, and I know your guys are going to be like, that's a shit ton of money, and I can't tell you how much it costs because you're going to just die, but it was so worth spending the money, and I did a whole episode on it, and you're going to really enjoy it. It's my BMC 660 episode on my channel. Check it out. It's a lot of fun, and really, again, probably the most expensive old camera in my collection for that reason, but one of my favorites. Any other questions or comments?
Any other questions, chat?
Any other questions? Because we're going to shut this down. It's a beautiful Saturday outside the lab. I want to go for a drive, and I got to do some errands. But I love talking to you guys. You guys have been great. You've been asking really wonderful questions, and I'm always happy to share a Saturday, a little bit of time on a Saturday. Is that it?